Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. We're having fun with abstract. Little abstract cherry blossom. Getting in the groove. A cherry blossom season. I actually will be flying myself to Japan for cherry blossom season this upcoming Saturday, and I can't wait to see them. So lots of content will be coming soon, especially for Patreon members, exclusive content of Japanese kind of paintings and stuff. This is simple. Break it down step by step. And we're using the holbein granulating watercolors. Look at those. Use a bunch of these granulating watercolors from Holbein. Super fun. If you haven't tried them, try them. Right now you can only buy them through like the Japanese store online, but I heard it's pretty quick to ship. Eventually it comes to the States in a different way, but right now it's just through that site. And the Patreon members get the additional tutorial right here. And if you want to be a Patreon member, click the link in the description box below to join my Patreon. But without further ado, let's get painting an abstract cherry trees. All right, let's go over a few supplies. I've taped down a piece of arch paper onto a piece of thick cardboard just to keep it stable with some Scotch Magic tape. And it is a 5 by 10 inch piece. I'm going to be using Holbein's granulated watercolor and maybe add in like maybe one watercolor of my own or two, who knows. And I mixed them up. Like I got those sets from Holbein. There's 6 sets, but they come in a 24. So I'll have the link to all the colors that I'm using, as always, in the description box. And so this is a really quick and simple kind of fun, like spring tree kind of tutorial. I'm just going to take a brush like my Princeton 8 long round, and I'm just going to grab some clean water. Right? And I want to have like a couple of mounds here. So I'm just kind of taking the water. I'm going to go like this back and forth and adding in like where you would see shiny. See that? It's like a shiny little mound, like where grass would be. And then same thing on this side. You know, throwing this water in. I could have used a bigger brush, but now I'm going to grab this color called Mimosa Yellow from Holbein. Just going to start to play with putting this color in first. Ooh, pigment. Loosen this up. Mimosa Yellow. This other dark green called peafowl green. Throwing that in. Oop, I got a little too much pigment there. Kind of tilting my paper now, getting a little bit more wet. I need to get this pretty wet. Mine was not wet enough. Then this yellow color called pampas grass yellow. Look at that. Really kind of cool. Cleaning off my brush, adding more water, kind of playing with this. This is daybreak orange. It's like a brown. I'm going to go back and add some of this dark green, or even more of this other green here. This was the mimosa yellow. And then I can add a little bit of this color called moonlight night blue. It looks more like gray. These are all granulating colors. Throwing that in, getting that green in there, playing with this, grabbing some clear water, tapping more water in here, having this bleed down, put some water down here. That green. If you don't have these colors, you just play with the colors you have. Some granulated colors that are not that I use that are Holbein, ultramarine blue deep and burnt sienna are granulated colors together. Let's put a little couple of those in there. It just creates a really kind of cool effect. And I'm gonna go back and grab this yellow. I'm liking this yellow. Just kind of tilting that, playing with the paper. And you can just do the grass areas, whatever which way you want. This green right here is kind of like a bluish green. Kind of makes like a mound. Like there's a mountain back there, like a bluish colored mountain. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little thicker with my paint. This brown tone, which is really, they call it daybreak orange, and that blue, you can even add yellow, and make like a nice brown. And I'm just going to kind of take my brush, kind of thick too, tip this brush and kind of wisp out some tree branches. See, jiggle what you would think a cherry tree would kind of look like, right? Kind of have some kind of coming down here. Same thing over here. Mixing those three colors. Cherry tree branch. Out, tree. Up, over. So you can see it kind of swarming like this. Still just taking that grayish color tone. Put some branches going up and over. So it's kind of curvature in. We have some nice branches kind of leaning downward. Gonna go back to my greens here, my yellow. I can mix the two. It's a little bit more vibrant. Even add like that gray color, intensity. Tilt it, and you can move the paint around a little bit. And if your paint's not moving, you can always spray it. But this is abstract. This is not like perfection. We're just having fun with these colors. Ooh, clean up with more water. I want to have that bleed a little bit more. There's that fun green we had in the beginning. Going like that. Just adding that leveliness. Now we have these other two colors called Cherry Blossom Pink, perfect. And then this one called Bourkes Parrot Pink, the Cherry Blossom. Now what I'm going to do is grab some clean water on this brush and kind of throw some of this big blobs around where the trees are, so it's haphazard. You can tap it, and you can kind of make it blobbyish. I'm tapping my hand on it, and especially over here. You're gonna grab that rose, kind of hit those wet areas. See, just boop, that you tapped in. They're random, like they should be. And you're just kind of putting that paint right into those little random areas. Now, you could also just take the paint, loosen it up, and kind of tippy tap, you know, where you would think these little blossoms. Now, see, that's kind of really mushed. And you can kind of tap little teeny ones. It's the perfect cherry blossom color, isn't it? But when you go to add that wonderful funky pink, ooh, it gets a little bit more interesting. Now that's a perfect light cherry. This is that neonish kind of pink. Ooh, even more interesting, right? I'm loving it. It's that Bourkes Parrot Pink, which has yellow and orange and all that kind of stuff in it. And I can grab some bright rose from Holbein. Now I'm going to kind of push the paint down up top with some bright rose. It's very wet. Just kind of pushing it down and connecting it and tapping it. So the top part is kind of darker with this bright rose paint, kind of pushing that. So it feels like it's, you know, in like a foresty kind of thing. Again, the bright rose. Woohoo! Sometimes you can even splatter a little paint. Fun, fun, fun. Don't get it everywhere though. Now, I'm going to take these colors here, get this brown, this blue, brown, whatever, black, deep green. Actually, I need more of this green. This is the peafowl green. Now, this is still very, very wet. We can scrape up some grass. Peafowl green. I'm going to do some little grass markings with this brush. Can even use a liner brush. Go back and add some more branches for our little lovely cherry blossom trees. Now this is not perfect because it's just an abstract. There's that green. I just want to add more green. Oh, so we're going to add some pink in the ground because the leaves have fallen. Again, taking this, swiping up with the brush. A liner brush is always nice to use. I use a number 4 Umbria series. So mixing this paint with the yellow, kind of going down here with the greens. Some grasses. I need more of that peafowl green. I go through that, it seems like. Really great color. Still very damp in here in some areas. I'm just making these really kind of fun grasses. Add that little dark bluish blackish color. That's a little interesting here. On this side. And there's that yellow. They call it a yellow. It looks like a burnt sienna in a way. Kind of add some of these little grasses here. Again, you know, it's an abstract. You're playing with this. It's not supposed to be perfect. You're having fun, making little scratches. See? Just taking my brush and making these little scratches. Looks pretty cool, right? I didn't put a sky in. Don't need to put a sky in. I will take some of that rose and that wonderful funky color. Put some little petals that are floating on the bottom here. So kind of tapping the little pink down below, like the petals are falling. It's peaked and it's starting to fall. So there's that rose. That paint, the rose granulating color is very thick. Almost gouache-like, so it's kind of fun to play with that one. Adding that color in there. Just tapping the paint right out of the tube. It's creating some really cool effects. Right in the bottom here. Over in here. And then we got that wonderful funky neon one. Right out of the tube, we could play with that too. Now it's still seeping in the paper, but if you have a credit card or something scrapey you can use, you can scrape up some grasses. If it's still too wet, it's what's going to happen. It's going to fold back in. It will make some grass lines, but if you want the white part, you got to wait. Got to wait a little bit. I like it both ways. Kind of fun to scrape it, get that white, and then some fun to get those lines of the grass. I do want to play with just a little bit in the background. This is that green. It's kind of bluish. Kind of tap some of that. And I'm going to tap some of these green colors up and around the tree. Could do like a bush back here. So it's more forest-like, but really kind of simple, kind of cool cherry tree abstract. Getting my yellow oak over here. Or I can even use bright yellow deep. Cabin yellow deep. Mixing with all these colors in here. Just kind of fun. Bright chartreuse color kind of mix in there. And we've got our tree. I want this a little bit more in depth on the side there. Right? Didn't take much time at all. Kind of make this into like a background of a mountain. Really kind of sweet. Some of that bright green. Don't be afraid to like tap or splatter some things down here too. It's brown. Interesting. Respect. Doesn't always have to be like the bright pink you're splattering. I love it. Came out really pretty. And minimal effort. By the way, you could just cut this in half and turn this into like 2 cards. I would go back with like the bright rose right out of the tube a little bit, and you can just tap in. See, it's still somewhat wet up here. You can make it really kind of bright and intense. Just to be tapping and moving it around. And I love the effect. Not much effort. You can create something really sweet and fun. And little roses down here, maybe like accumulating on the ground over here. Look at that. Okay. Last thing is I'll take my wonderful liner brush. See what the little blooms are? You can make them kind of like flowers too if you put a little streak coming down from them. As opposed to them just like falling flower petals. They could also be flowers. And just have fun using a liner brush with some deeper color going in here and making all kinds of lines and scrapes and squabbles and whatnot. Isn't that fun? And then you just let it dry and see what happens when you remove it. So you just remove the tape If I can remove it. Pull it away from you if you're using Scotch Magic Tape so it doesn't rip the paper. And look how pretty that is. So this was super fun. I hope you had fun doing it. Lots of fun, simple techniques, playing with watercolor. Abstract is about play. And if you're a Patreon member, you get the other abstract right here. So if you want to be a Patreon member, click the link in the description box below so you can learn all about my Patreon and help support my channel here on YouTube and get all kinds of extras and goodies and exclusive tutorials that are not here. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.